up the tempo. Let me switch up the tempo. I wanna switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Switch up the tempo. Can I switch up the tempo? Switch up the.
Good morning, you guys. So this video is not going to be super in depth because I literally only have an hour to sew my hair in. I did a quick braid down, really quick, really quick. I don't even know if everything is straight. I couldn't decide if I wanted a middle part or an off-centered part, so I made this braid over a little bit more so I have a little bit more parting space. But I'm getting ready to install 2 bundles of Brazilian straight, 20 and 22 inch. Y'all see how full this hair is? Like, yes, this is some hair that I used to sell to my clients, but I'm not selling it anymore, so sorry you guys. This hair was everything though, but I'm not selling it anymore because I want to sell more curly and straight. I want to sell more curly and wavy textures because I feel like it's the best hair. But this was some good hair, y'all. I'm going to put the 22 inch in the back. My needles are already threaded because you guys know I keep my needles threaded. This hair is so silky, like, y'all. I'm not a really big fan of like straight hair because it took forever to find this hair, y'all. Because not all straight hair can hold a curl. So when trying to sell straight hair, that's the hardest, in my opinion, the hardest texture to sell. I'm sewing this braid going up, attaching it to the other braids, and then I'll turn around and start sewing.
With a white picket fence, with a tie to a new life present tense. Stopped at the drive-in of our spring fling, and the radio played that song we used to.
I'm going to double the first weft and then I'm going to single the second one. Since my hair is, well, my head is pretty small, I only need 2 bundles. I typically wear 3, but that's normally when I wear a wig because I can fit more hair on there. But for a natural look for me, I use 2 bundles. To each his own. I just feel like that's what looks the best on me, no matter what length it is. I go through the wefts when I start out. This does not cause shedding. What causes shedding is if you're constantly cutting your wefts and if you're constantly piercing through them. I only pierce through my wefts at the beginning and at the end so that I make sure it stays in place. And then when I come back here, I sew it right on the corner. And I'm gonna sew this one underneath my braid starting out so I can get the full length of it. I try to pull the thread a little bit tighter when I'm doing my hair because I always get loops out of nowhere, just like out of nowhere. And I could have sworn I pulled the thread super tight, but I'll have like loops of thread in there. Then I'll have to go back, cut them, and tie them. G's mess up too, y'all. It definitely takes some getting used to when you're doing your own sewing. I can tell you that. It's definitely not easy starting out. You're going to want to give up. You're going to want to ask somebody else to do it. But if you keep on working at it, you will get it done. Like I said, I don't normally use a mirror because I'm too critical of myself. I'll start being really technical and placing tracks way too close together, like literally on top of each other. The first row is in. I fold all my wefts. I don't cut them. Even with this doubled, I still fold it. Hey, meet my mama.
to the burbs, many words you bend. And some old song I know, it won't get out of my head. All that feeling's gone, love ain't disappeared. I've been missing what you love like, love like, love like, love like, love like, love like. But it don't mean we can't spend love like, love like, love like, love like. I remember what you love like, but it don't mean we can't spend.
Alright, so since I don't think this part is going to be flat when I fold it over, I'm going to cut this back piece, and that'll keep everything attached. Cut it right there. I'm about to have hair all over me, y'all. But yeah, that's why I don't normally cut my tracks. But if I get to a place where I feel like it won't fold flat, then I cut it. But I fold all the time. I don't believe in cutting wefts unless you absolutely have to each its own though. A lot of people do things differently. Your sewing might be flatter by you cutting the wefts. Mine might be flatter by me not cutting them. So I really can't tell nobody how to sew in hair as long as they find a method that works for them. People always ask me what I do in order to get my sewings flat, or what braid pattern do I use, or what technique do I use. It depends on the client, honestly. You got to take it by client, because every client can't wear a beehive. Every client can't have straight to the back braids. Every client can't have braids like what I have now, braided down. It depends on the client how much edges they have, how much leave out they can have, if they have a sensitive scalp or not. I choose not to do sew-ins on people who are tender-headed because it's not going to do anything but cause you pain. The littlest pain from a sew-in is going to feel like a migraine. Like I said, everything doesn't work for everybody, so you really just have to find what works for you and stick with it. I've been sewing my own hair since I think 14. Wait, no, I think I did my first sewing at 15 on my own head. Pretty sure I had a sewing before then, but I didn't do it myself. When I'm done with the track, I like to reinforce it. Just go back through the end of it, tie a double knot or triple knot, depending on how I feel. When I start the next weft, and as you guys know, I said I was going to do this one single, so I'm not going to run out of hair. I go through the weft at the beginning and ending of every bundle. That's how I attach mine. I knot every time I end a track. That's just my personal preference. I knot every time I begin a track, so then you only have knots at the beginning and ending. Your knots are typically on the side or somewhere in the middle. I don't have like 1,000,001 knots throughout the sewing. That makes it more easy for my clients to take their sewing out. They don't loosen up. I've never had a problem with anybody sewing, loosening up, or their braids. If it's not working for you, you got to find another technique. Like I said, everything doesn't work for everybody, so you might be doing something on someone's head that can't take that amount of pain or that type of braid pattern. These bundles are super duper lengthy. The weft on it, this is why I love this hair. Like I said, I will continue this if it's in high demand, but I don't know, y'all. I'm just not feeling straight hair anymore. With typical straight hair, they don't like to stay straight and they don't hold a curl really well. That's why I try to stay away from straight hair. But when I found this hair, y'all, baby, this was a good starter for me. Now I'm on the bigger and better things. Alright, So when I start, like I said, I just go through the weft. And I connect it where I left off at. And I like to add a knot by just pulling it through the thread like that. Then I reinforce it by going back in that same spot. And then I move on. And you gotta think about it. Some people have weaker edges than others. So like how I braided my edges in, somebody might not be able to have their edges braided in because they're not strong enough. And the braids will just slip right out. The worst thing that you can do is do somebody a sew-in and not tell them how to take care of it. Then you get a bad review because you have lack of good customer service and you in it for the money. People gonna know real from fake. They're gonna know if you in it for the money or if you really care about your clients and the health of their hair. Because it's not about good looking installs. It's about healthy hair underneath as well. You can't be out here slinging sew-ins and then their real hair is crappy. Their real hair don't have no link to it. Their ends are damaged. They don't know how to take care of their sew-in. Like, that's a bad representation of you and your brand. Even if you don't have a brand, if you call yourself doing hair, like, you are your name. So at the end of the day, whether you're a big hairstylist or a small hairstylist, you have to tell these people how to take care of their hair. Just in case you guys are wondering how many needles it takes me to sew my hair, on my head I use about 6 needles. I always thread about 12 needles when starting out, just so I won't run out. I might have only one client or I might have 2 back to back. So it's best to stay prepared so that you're not taking up time threading needles and getting all your supplies together. That should be done before you even start the service, before they even arrive to your location, wherever you're doing hair at. All of that should be figured out ahead of time. If you need to eat, you should eat before your client arrives or after your client leaves. You shouldn't be taking breaks while you're doing their hair. You shouldn't have a lot of people around. You want to keep your environment really professional because that'll keep people coming back and they'll have nothing but nice things to say to the next customer. Because if clients like you, they're going to refer people to you. The best way to get referrals is to give them quality services. You don't want nobody playing around in your head, making your hair fall out, making your sew-in only last 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 day. And then they paying you a lot of money. Because people who do sew-ins typically charge between $75 and $300, $400 depending on where you at. They might even charge $50 if they like starting out. When I started out doing sew-ins, I only charged $30 and $40, and I was doing hair on the side while I was working. But once I quit, that was my only source of income. So I went from $30 and $40 to $50 and $60. And at that time, it was like any sew-in. Like with leave out, I think I charged less. And then if you left no hair out, I charged more because that's more time that it takes me to sew your hair. You have to find what works for you though. I think that's a good price range for somebody starting out. If you don't have that much experience, you want to stay in the $50 range. Because people are not trying to hear, oh, I've never done a sewing before, and then you charge them $150. I think that's crazy. No matter how good you think you will be or you are when you do it, that'll just make you better. If you do the sew-in for $50 and it come out bomb, it come out flawless, and you continue to do sew-ins after that and they continue to come out bomb, they continue to come out flawless, that's when you can up your prices. But to just start out at a high ass price and then your work doesn't match, I wouldn't do it. That's your name on the line. And the worst thing you can do is ruin your name. People don't think about that though. So a lot of people out here doing hair, calling themselves a hairstylist just to make money. And then you got the real hairstylists that suffer because people out here playing with them and their money and not getting a quality service. So that reflects back on hairstylists in general, not just you as a hairstylist, but hairstylists in general. Because then people start losing trust in if they can go to somebody to get their hair done or not. Like, last time the girl messed up my sew-in, so I'm not letting anybody else do my sew-in. I hear that all the time. Like, people will literally be complaining online like, oh, people and such don't know how to do hair because this girl pulled out my hair. No, that girl don't know how to do hair. Once somebody mess up, they tend to box all hairstylists in the same category. I don't have complaints because I listen to what my client needs and I go from there. I pay really close attention to their hair and find products that work for them. I don't use the same product on every client because it doesn't work for everybody. Everyone's hair is different. No matter if we have the same hair texture or the same length, everyone's hair is different. We can very well have the same hair, but when I put a product in my hair, it might not be as curly as it was when you put it on your hair. So again, you got to find what works for that person. Like I was saying last video, people take medications and people be in the sun a lot. People just naturally have really dry scalps. So you have to know your client. You want to get all the information on your client before you even start doing services on them. Know your client and what their hair likes, what their hair needs, and go from there. Don't base it off of any other hairstylist and what she uses and what she likes, because that's not going to work for you. You might have only 5 clients that can use that product out of all your clients. And so now you done went and bought all this stuff and only 5 of your clients can use it. And that's another thing. People don't think about it. As a hairstylist, you buying everything. Well, me personally, I don't have my clients bring anything but their hair. That's the only thing that I make them bring is their hair. You know what type of hair you like. So as long as it's 100% human hair or 100% virgin hair, I'm good. Unless you're doing a full install, then you can bring some synthetic hair if you want to, but I wouldn't suggest it because you getting a quality sew-in with some trashy hair. I wouldn't waste my money on it, but I mean, everybody's different. Everybody don't want virgin hair, so just do what you like. Don't ever get caught up in trends and feeling like you need to please somebody else for how you wearing your hair or what style you get next. I go from what I like. Sometimes I look on Pinterest, but mainly I just think of something and I'm about to do it, period. I don't ask people, should I do this style next? Like, I don't need nobody influencing me. You gotta have a strong mind. People gonna tell you all day something don't look right on you, but then when you try it, you figure out that it actually does look right on you, and then you mad because you listen to other people. Do what you like to do. It's always gonna be somebody that don't like it. It's a lot of people that don't like me and don't even know me, so it is what it is. I don't worry about creating enemies or making friends. Y'all, we doing great timing. It's amazing how fast I can do my sew-ins when I got somewhere to go. Why can't I do it this fast any other time? When I'm doing my own sew-in, it normally takes me like 2 to 3 hours, just like it do when I do somebody else sew-in. It takes me 2 to 3 hours depending on how big the person's head is. It's taken me 4 hours before. That was when I did a frontal. That's when I was doing frontals, but because I fully sew my frontals and my closures. I don't use any glue. I go through phases where I don't want to do anything anymore. Like, it's become old to me. I was telling y'all that before. Like, sometimes when I do hair, I don't take pictures of my work, which I used to be so critical about taking pictures of everything that I do, because people nowadays like to lie as if they did their own hair. It's never happened to me yet, but I like to prepare from all angles of the situation. So if you try to lie and be like, yeah, I do my own hair, look, I'm gonna catch you. That's why I take pictures of all my work. But lately I've been slacking, and I've noticed it. So sometimes I don't take pictures. Sometimes I get caught up in the conversation with my client. Sometimes I'm just not feeling it. Like, I could slay the mess out of your hair, and I just feel like, oh, just another slay. And that's not even being cocky. Sometimes I just feel like that though. Like, if I've done that style so many times, it's kind of like not exciting to me anymore. Like, I'm happy that it turns out right. That's the best part about it. I'm happy that it turns out right every single time. It's like, it's different because the client is different, and you might have to tweak the style a little bit to fit that person, but the style is the same basically. That excitement has gone away, and when that happens, that's normally when I don't offer that service anymore, because I feel like I've moved past it. And anytime that I change my prices, this is a good thing. Anytime I change my prices or I change something on my website, like I decide not to offer a service anymore, I send out client emails to everybody that signed up on my website that's had an appointment with me before. You have to be a recent client. If you had an appointment with me like last year and you never came back, you're not going to receive that email, because I don't consider you a client if you only came to me one time. And that's the thing. People be out here talking about, I got clients, but meanwhile, you've only seen this person one time. You've only done their hair one time. I don't count those as clients. Sometimes it's just referral from your actual clients, the reason why that person came to you. I had a lot of people come to me that don't even live down here, and they came to me because they couldn't find nobody in their area. People travel very far to come get their hair done by me. Like, the furthest is about an hour, and that's far to be going to get your hair done. But I mean, everybody don't have the luxury to do that. But to the ones that do, I definitely appreciate it. And I like to ask my clients, like, like, what city do you live in, or how long did it take you to get here, so that I know for future reference. Like, if this person is typically an early client, then the reason why she's making that appointment that early is because she's coming from so far. Nobody wants to drive an hour here and then have an hour drive back home from a late appointment. So I'm really in tune with, like, my clients. I never want you to just sit in my chair and then we never say anything to each other, and it's awkward and you feel like you can't ask me any questions, or you feel like you don't know me like that, so you can't talk to me. Or I think that's whack. A lot of people do that. They'll have you sitting in their chair, then they talking to a whole bunch of other people, or they're on the phone the whole time. I don't do that. I don't talk on the phone when I'm doing hair. I don't check messages. I don't check emails. I don't check social media. I don't do that until after I'm done with your hair and I'm getting ready to post pictures. But if you want to be in this business for a long time and you want to have a name for yourself, you got to be yourself 100%. Don't do stuff like somebody else because you feel like that's going to get your name out there or that's going to get you clients. Don't use somebody else's name to get on. I've never done that. My mom and my older sister both used to do hair, and I never ever used their names for me to get clients. So I think that's whack. Like, if you have talent, the clients are going to come with it. A lot of people are too impaciente, and they try to find all these freaking means as a way to get clients. And they'll ask you like, how do I get clients? How do I build my clientele? Word of mouth. If you do somebody hair right, they're gonna refer somebody to you. If you do somebody hair right, they're gonna come back to you. If you do somebody right, they'll book you for their wedding. If you do somebody hair right, they'll book you for their prom. You gotta be yourself. Don't do stuff because other people do it. That's your biggest mistake ever. That's the worst thing you could do. Because then you living for other people. If that person never posts a picture ever again, what you gonna do? How you gonna continue your brand if you basing your brand off somebody else's brand? How you gonna continue? Because once that person stop posting, you have nothing to go off of. You don't know what to say now. You don't know if you should use hashtags or not. You don't know where to post your work. You don't know how to get clients. You don't know how to talk to them, how to relate to them. I just wouldn't do it. I would just be myself 24/7 and not even worry about stuff like that. That's the best thing to do. You don't want nobody talking about, oh, she not real. All she do is copy off of other people. Because a bad rep is just like having no rep at all. Because ain't nobody gonna care for you. Right now, I'm 45 minutes into the sew-in. The braid pattern took me probably 20 minutes because I did some dookie braids. I like to keep my anchor braids small. And then my back braids, I really don't be caring how those look, honestly. But in the front is where I need the most support at. So that's where I try to keep it nice and neat. Oh, I'm on my 5th needle. So I guess I was right. Yep, I use 6 needles when I do my own sewing. And it's good to know like how many needles you go through when doing a sew-in. It's good to know how long you normally thread them. If you typically sew very slow, you want to have shorter thread because that'll speed up your time. And you also want to have all of your needles threaded. I do arm to arm length when I do my thread. That's how I like it. I feel like it's not too long, not too short. It's like the perfect length. So I take my thread and I stretch it out from arm to arm. But if you thread way too long and you sew slow, it's gonna make you even slower. So I would start threading my needles shorter if I was you, because timing is everything. You might be bomb doing hair, but nobody wants to sit in your chair for a sew-in for 5 hours, no matter how bomb you are. So yeah, it took me a while to get my timing down to 2 to 3 hours because I'm such a perfectionist, and when I do something, I want it to look right all the way around. I don't want you to be able to tell that it's a sew-in when I'm finished. It should look very natural and it should fit them perfectly. So flatness is key, you guys. Having a flat install is key. Even when you're doing it on yourself, your install should be flat. Your install should be seamless, okay? Seamless. And if you're doing a sew-in where they're able to pull it up, you want to make sure it's flat. I won't be wearing this up in the ponytail because I didn't leave any hair out in the back, but you want to make sure everything is flat when they go to pull it up. And this last track, you want to make sure you sew it really close together so that it won't lift up at all. This is the track that holds everything together. So I feel like the first track and the very last track surrounding your leave out are the most important. They should be sewed the neatest, like it all should be neat. But these ones should be extra secure because that's what's holding the sewing together. You want to have a really solid anchor track. Like I said before, I don't do all that extra knotting. I just sew how I sew. It's never steered me wrong. So I do what I know and I stick to it. I like it. I'm not gonna change it just because I see other people sewing a different way. That's what people be doing. Oh, it seems like it's easier to sew it like this, so let me start sewing how she sews, instead of doing what you know. Granted, if the technique is better than yours, I guess you better figure something out before you start getting sued or something. The minute you mess up, they be waiting for that. They be waiting like, oh, she just messed up her hair. Oh, they be waiting for that, y'all. They be waiting for the drama, the cattiness, the pettiness. They be waiting for that. That's why y'all don't see me with a lot of females. When I post on Snapchat, I got my same best friends I've been had. I got my same boyfriend I've been had. Got the same family members around me that I've been had. I don't flex for people. I don't feel the need to impress people because people ain't paying my bills. And people dang sure ain't making me money. So y'all gotta stop living for other people and doing stuff that other people do just to get some money. Just to get some clout. Y'all know people love throwing that clout word out there. Just to get some clout. That sounds so stupid. Like, that's what y'all be doing. Y'all be flexing. Y'all be flexing, acting like y'all got it when y'all don't. When it's okay to say that you don't have it. It's okay to say you don't know how to do something. It's okay to say you never heard of something. It's okay. But people like to fit in, so that's never gonna be okay with them. They never just gonna say, you know, maybe I shouldn't have did sewing because I've only done it one time before. Probably shouldn't have did your hair and told you that I knew how to do it, but I did it anyway because I wanted that shmoney. I wanted that coin. So I did it anyway. You're never gonna hear that. That's why when people ask me who do I recommend them going to, look, unless I know this person personally, I'm not sending y'all to somebody that I don't know like that. There's only one girl down here right now that I would ever recommend somebody to. And we went to beauty school together. And she recommends clients to me. So, you know, I know that her work is good. So I will feel comfortable with recommending people to her. And she knows that my work is good. So, and we hype each other up. That's what I love about being in this industry. I don't hate on no other hairstylists. And I love when they can reach out and be like, you know what, you doing a damn thing. I love that. That shows me that everybody not stuck up. And they not just think about themselves. I'm going to put this flat iron on 350 degrees. Maybe 400. Depending on how straight my hair gets. Y'all probably was scared, like, it's not going to be full enough. It's not going to be full enough. But it is. It truly is. I like to flat iron towards my face. So that's what I'm going to do. Flat iron towards my face. It makes the hair a lot flatter than it normally would be. Really, only the top of this needs to be flat ironed, so. And I love that this flat iron is long, so I'm able to put way more hair into the flat iron than I normally would. This is the Babyliss Pro Nano Titanium. Butter, baby. Smooth. Smooth. And then I'm gonna flat iron this piece right here. Y'all, don't even ask what happened. This comb is almost done for though. And it's sad because these are my favorite type of combs. And then let me do this piece back here. I'm not necessarily going for bone straight, but the hair was already straight. It just had a little bit of wrinkle to it since it was in the packaging, but I don't really need bone straight. I like my hair to have some texture to it. Y'all know I like wearing curly hair. That's what y'all normally see me wear. And y'all always talk about that is so cute. I get the most compliments when I wear curly hair because everybody thinks it's my real hair. When I wear straight hair, I get tired of it and I want to cut it. I always end up cutting it into a bob or a short hairstyle. So it'd be like a waste. But when I get my inches, you know, if it's like 24 or longer, I tend to keep the length on it. Sometimes even 22. But if I do 20 or shorter, sometimes I don't keep the length on it. But y'all, we finished. Now it's time to flat iron my hair. My hair has oil on it and so does my scalp. I'm not gonna put any products on my hair to flat iron it in. Plus, I don't like my hair being weighed down when I flat iron it. I like it to have the same thickness that it's supposed to have, so. But as y'all can see, my leave out is growing. I should probably clip these ends though, cause they ain't doing nothing for nobody. That's normally what I do when I clip my ends. I just hold them up or out, depending on where I'm cutting it at. I'm not gonna be that hairstylist to tell you to keep that raggedy hair just for the sake of having an install. Y'all better stop going to these yes men and get y'all stylists that actually care about the integrity of your hair. Because if you don't, you're gonna be real upset when your hair start falling out. Look at that blend. Look at that blend. And make sure y'all cleaning y'all flat irons off too. Don't be using this flat iron on your head and then turn around and use it on your client. And make sure y'all leaving it on there for the time that it's supposed to be on there. Because y'all know how people be getting lazy. Like, oh, I'm just going to leave this on here for 5 seconds and then it'll be clean. If it say leave it on there for 10 minutes, leave it on there for 10 minutes. Otherwise, you just spreading stuff around. I wanted a longer part. That's why my part is back this far. I just feel like it looks more natural when you have a lengthier part. When you have enough parting space to do whatever you want with your hair, it looks the most natural. First of all, I can't even get my part straight. Middle parts are so finicky, it's annoying. I cannot stand when I can't have a straight middle part. Ooh, why my scalp looks so light? What's really going on? I will be doing some styling videos with this hair, okay? I'll be doing some styling videos for y'all in the near future. I'm gonna put a little bit of edge control on my edges because I I don't want my edges to be on hurt today. I know y'all was laughing at me for saying that the last video, but they really was on hurt. I don't want that this time around. I'm going out in the public eye. Like I said, I don't recommend putting edge control on every day, so don't do it. Alright guys, my sewing is finished. Ooh, how my hair gonna be sticking up? That's whack. Like literally. Ugh. Alright. We popping now. I will see you guys in another video. Thank you for tuning in. You know I had to slay my sewing one time for the one time.
You remember the time when we fell in love? 'Cause I remember the night when you had enough of my creeping.